Cool, JMT here. I eat ass. JC sells lift kits for the HA4, but not the HA7. We're going to find out why.
What are you doing?
I said I eat ass, do you?
I eat all the ass. I eat that shit like it's going out of style.
Why do you sell lift kits for the HA7, but not the HA4?
Why don't you have the microphone inside your mouth? For one.
I like how it tastes.
So what are we doing? What you got going on?
Why do you sell lift kits for the HA4, but not the HA7? You even install them.
Yeah. Well, with Honda being Honda, they do some engineering that doesn't allow us to set a truck up like that Mitsubishi setting there. And the reason to do that is for structural purposes, I'd imagine. But we're not able to unbolt anything in the front end to drop that subframe. It's all made together onto the chassis with the Hondas, even the HA4s. So if we was able to unbolt things and put spacers in there to drop that subframe to where we can keep our CV angles correct like we do on the Mitsubishi, and you come over here and look. On the Mitsubishi, there's 4 bolts that hold the subframe up, essentially. And if you look down in there, there's a black box. This little box, well, it's more of a spacer or whatever. That lowers that subframe to pretty much keep your factory angles. And with a Honda, we can't do that because it's physically made onto the truck. It can be done if we do some heavy modifications and be able to drop that, but we can't. So even with the HA4s, we could do a much better, bigger lift with the HA4 if we could drop some of the subframe cross members and stuff like that. But you just can't. The HA7 with the set forward front end, the wheel wells are really tight. If you look in here on this one, see how small the fender well is. And then we can look at this Mitsubishi here. You can see how at the top where the strut mounts, it sits out. Well, the problem with that is you can't push that strut in to even do a 2-inch lift because there's no room there to push it in. It's pretty much right up against it. Now there is a, I think, inch lift that you can buy from Japan that has a little bit of an offset to keep your camber right, but there's really no way to do it and keep the camber the way it needs to be. On this, I don't know, the rear end is, we're able to work with that. We can drop the engine, drop the exhaust, we can put blocks on the axle, we can get the rear end up, but getting that front end up is a problem. Normally I like it when the rear ends are up. But anyway, it's just how the Hondas are made. They're not lift kit friendly. That's setting on a 4-inch lift, and I can do a couple more things to it and put it up to 5.5. So if you want a truck that you can take off-road and do some off-road stuff in, Honda's not it. On top of the way this 4-wheel drive system is set up, you don't have the high-low transfer case in this one like you do in that one. So you can get the Honda with the Attack model, and you'll have a locking differential and an ultra-low forward and reverse. But even with that, you can't really do much bigger tires. I think you can do 22-inch tall tires, but you can't put the foursomes under it unless you do a lot of trimming on the bumper, take the mud flaps off, do that little 1-inch lift that is available for it. it's not a truck that's made for doing off-road stuff. So if it's something you want to do for light utility, you're going to be going out through a very nice smooth field and checking fence rows, or maybe around the yard picking up debris and stuff like that. That's one thing, but doing utility work and off-roading that you can do in that versus this, they're two different worlds, really. That one we put it in low range, and we'll have full 5 gears available in low range, where if you do get the right model in this one, you'll only have an ultra low first and ultra low reverse, where that one you can throw it in low range and have full gears available for you. It's not a truck that's really made to be doing what that one is capable of doing. Or even at the hot suit we have sitting in the garage, that one we can lower subframes and put big lifts on it and do a bunch of different stuff, but just not a Honda. And that's just the unfortunate way that these trucks are made. And Honda's actually the only one that has the bed made into with the cab, so it's all one piece. You can't remove the bed. That one, the one sitting in the garage, every other one, even the Subaru, you can unbolt the bed, take the bed off, and do stuff like that. In Hondas, you just can't. So they're very nice trucks. They're just limited on what you can do aftermarket wise, unless you really want to throw a lot of money at it, or you're a really good fabricator. Then you can make it happen, but it's just not something that we can sell and have an easy bolt-on way for you guys to do it. So it'll be a very custom job. But any other questions?
Nope.
No. Well, I can't think of anything else other than the difference in how the trucks are made and put together. That's our biggest setback, is how they're put together, versus that one pretty much unbolts everything. You remove everything off this one and just keep the cab and frame rails. But I don't know. That's just something you guys got to think about when you're wanting to buy a Honda and you want to do off-road stuff. If you're doing light utility stuff, they're fine. And really, doing a lift kit on a HA4, unless you have an attack, really it's kind of a waste in my eyes. If you want a lift kit to put bigger, wider tires on it, that's really the only reason I could see putting a lift kit on a Honda, is aesthetics and the look of it. So I guess here's your microphone back, and you can catch me off guard later.
Thank you.
All right, so I guess that was a random on the spot video. We'll see you later, I guess.
Bye-bye.